Hello there, and welcome back to The End is Nigh. Last time I decided at the split to go down into the hollows and made my way through it only to arrive at the new Golgotha area, which, in case you've forgotten from last time, is very intriguing looking. I really like this sharp difference in visual design compared to the previous worlds, as well as the introduction of new gameplay elements. We have enemies now, it looks like. Those spiky tumors on chains. They're pretty much chain chomps, really, from Mario. Just doing my once a screen glance at everything around to make sure I'm not missing a secret. I don't seem to be. But yeah, everything up till now has been fairly muted, but here you have the sharp blood red contrasting with the pitch black, and it actually looks pretty nice. Okay, I'm gonna have to figure out how to deal with these guys more reliably, that's for damn sure. I need to move quickly past them once I've triggered them, because they're very quick to strike, but if they're still in their cooldown period, they can't really do much to me at all. So I think the best way to do that would be to trigger the second one, grab onto the ledge to grab the tumor, then hop up. I think I can do that before it resets its attack. So I think it would be best if I do so from the left side of the screen. I almost did it there, I failed to grab the ledge though. There might be other ways you can do this, but that's gonna be the easiest— oop, for me. See, it worked out. Nearly didn't, but hey. Tumor up there. Ooh, 2 chain chomps at the end. That's gonna be tricky to deal with. Really wish I had some dog food to feed them, to distract them. Really, in general, I wish this game had more mechanics like that. As far as Mastercore games go, it's pretty simple in terms of its mechanics, even compared to others within the genre. And I really feel that more like ways of interacting with the environment would help it make it something greater than it currently is. It's not a bad game by any means, but I really do think my ultimate opinion is gonna be that it's average at best, which is kind of a shame. I almost wish I had just decided to replay I Want to Be the Guy instead to sate my Mastercore / Splatformer game urge. But it is what it is. I've already spent the 15 and I played it long enough that I'm not going to be able to refund it, so I might as well continue. Alright, so I'm going to need to trigger that platform to fall, jump on it, and then I can pick up the tumor. It's going to be fairly tightly timed though, this might take a few attempts. Almost did it. If I grabbed onto the ledge, I think I would have had it. I still think that's a little bit too fiddly. I've mentioned that before, but it's a very big complaint I have. And just to make this easier, gonna back off and go back here. Easy to save the tumor separately in a situation like this. Now, I managed to do this pretty easily. How did I do that? I honestly don't even know what series of actions I took. I guess I can just have them both strike at me. They're somewhat out of sync, but that shouldn't be too big of a deal. As it turns out, it was a bit of a big deal. I'm pretty sure I got them to strike at me at the same time previously. I think I need to approach cautiously, like so. There we go. Now they're more in sync. But now they're out of sync, damn. Okay. Maybe like this? Yeah. I hesitated a bit with my momentum, which caused it to launch itself out at me early, and then I sped up my momentum and I was able to make it pass. That's what I did there mechanically. Alright, a bit more patience is required here, I see. And then speed! Now, picking up the tumor shouldn't be so bad. Except if I missed the fact that there were spikes there. I guess that's one issue with the visual design of this. There's so much utter darkness, it's even more difficult to make out the spikes than it usually is. Okay, so what is the collection looking like for this stage? It's pretty standard to what I've seen so far. Oh, and yes, I do realize I missed the tumor back in the hollows. I'll have to go back and get that when I'm picking up the other mega tumors I missed. So, standard collection it looks like, except there might be something additional here. It looks like a humanoid figure. We'll see if I can find out about that on this go-through. And I see secrets, okay. I think I had to trigger them from coming from the right side. So I couldn't have done it before. I just gotta make it through quickly. and not fall into spikes. I'm still surprisingly bad at avoiding falling into spikes, despite how much I played the game at this point. Alright, well, my first Golgothan secret. This one shouldn't be so bad. Yep. Anything else hidden in here? Like usual, no. Alright, that was pretty easy. Which tumor is that? Oh, fantastic, it's the first mega tumor. So I've not missed any secrets thus far. Well, I suppose I could have missed the cartridge since it's not necessarily in order with the mega tumors. I'll hope though that I haven't missed anything. For my sake and yours. I really like the emphasis of speed that this stage has compared to the previous ones. The ever-looming threat of the boiling blood coming up from below forces you to go through really quickly. And I think that's interesting. If I do a straight shot down... Don't grab onto the ledge. Okay, yeah, this is definitely doable. I just gotta be a little bit faster. And what do you know? I have it. Less editing work for me. I don't see any tumors here. It must be the case where it'll show up after I pass a certain point. Oh, we should have waited there. Actually, I can't wait, can't I? Once I'm traveling across. The platforms rise up too quickly, I just have to speed through. And there's the tumor. Oh, interesting, it's not showing up this time. Ah, it might be a time limit thing. I also just realized I do actually have the ability to be somewhat safe there by grabbing onto the ledges. There's just enough room to allow for that. So let's see if the tumor shows up now, because I do think it might just be a time thing. Or not, maybe it's making one pass through this little platforming segment. That might be it. Alright, that was actually surprisingly easy. Ooh, Podobos. I think that's that Mario enemy. You're really taking stuff from a lot of other games, aren't you, Macmillan? Well, in fairness, this was meant to be a small project that he was releasing in between his bigger ones, so... I suppose it's not too surprising that it doesn't do anything super amazing. This is gonna kill me, isn't it? Yeah. I think if I had sped out of there I would have been fine, but I was too cautious, too cowardly for my own good. Sometimes being a coward helps, in this game, not so much. That worked before, I thought. Maybe like this? Yeah. And, I think I see where there might be a secret. No, I was thinking about the bottom right, but the boiling blood doesn't lower enough for that to be a realistic option, I think. That block below me is gonna collapse, I was gonna say, but no, it's this one that's collapsing. Simple enough. Let's just save that. It is the convenient thing that this game does of having this screen-to-screen level design rather than distinct levels like Meat Boy did. Although you could argue that that's actually to the game's detriment, since it means that it overall has less of a good challenge to it, since you can end up sort of cheesing things by just collecting things and then doing your victory run, rather than having to do it all in one like you did in Meat Boy. I guess it depends on the kind of person you are, whether you consider that good or not. Might have been a secret over there, but it's locked to me now. Ooh, now we have a chasing boy. Can he only follow me straight? Nope, he can go wherever the hell he wants. Okay. This is actually going to be tricky to deal with. I really do need to watch a more competent person play through this game at some point. Oh, really? Just barely missed it? Of course, the game is gonna force me to sit through more pain, more torture. The self-inflicted kind too. I'm not sure whether that's better or worse than that inflicted by someone else. But yeah, I really want to watch someone who's more competent play through this and see just how effortlessly they go through the game. Because I've spent like 3 or 4 hours getting up to this point. I'm sure you could do this in like 30 to 40 minutes if you knew what you were doing. It's just that kind of game. At the very least, there does seem like there might be a secret here. So that'll be my next Mega Tumor, or maybe even the cartridge. Yeah, I keep making really dumb mistakes here. Yeah, that times it a bit better. And what? Huh. That's how I make it up here. I need to rocket off in roughly the middle of that opening. Can't do it from the right side because that would be too easy for the player now, wouldn't it? As I initially thought, it was just a lot of busy work. It wasn't actually a satisfying challenge. This, however, is actually fairly interesting. I like how it's basically, a challenge for survival as you slowly open up the path forward. It's actually pretty neat, and it's a novel way of using these enemies. More novel than the previous screen, that's for damn sure. Where it was more just a hassle rather than anything interesting. So I kind of talked before about how McMillan isn't the best game designer, and yet, despite that, this game has been receiving mostly stellar reviews from what I've seen. And I think that points at 2 issues with regards to gaming in general. One is the whole nerd thing of, oh, generally don't want to be too negative about someone even when it's legitimate criticism. Even when someone makes a game that's not all that great, you gotta be positive about it and look at the bright side, and it's like, no. If you do that, you're just gonna get more and more shit games as people realize they don't actually have to put a lot of work in to make something that people will like. The other issue it speaks to, this is gonna take a while, is that of the, I guess, cult of personality that McMillan has built up. That's not quite the correct term. I guess I would say, to use a somewhat old meme at this point, it's McMillan's brand. He just has such a distinct style that even when the game he makes isn't all that great, people end up judging it less harshly. Fuck, really? I almost made it. Less harshly because of that. Like, and in fairness, no one really else does quite what McMillan does, in terms of his overall art style and aesthetics, and the general goopiness, not just of the art of his games, but honestly of the gameplay as well. Like, that is one thing that this game does well, and I'll reward it for, is when you're splatting against various objects, it feels like you're splatting. It's very well designed in that regard. And I think it's because that his games offer something that a lot of other games don't. People end up judging it less harshly, even when the actual game design really isn't all that good. Like, the last game that I played through blind for my channel, I think was Hollow Knight, oh wait, no, The Surge. How could I forget about The Surge? I actually do like The Surge, but it's not a super memorable game. But the last game of this style, of like a 2D sort of classic 90s-ish game, that I played for this channel was Hollow Knight, and that game is a masterpiece in design. It deserves nothing but good praise. Like, the worst things I can say about it are just minor issues, and that's it. And I do realize that not everyone is going to be thinking that. Like, some people are going to have issues, but overall you can see that they put a lot of quality into it. I'm gonna die. Nope. Oh, that was lucky. Like, even if it doesn't exactly do things for you, that game, you can at least come away saying, yeah, this is a very well-designed game, even if I have issues. Whereas this one, honestly, I like it, and the most positive I can be is just to say that it's average, and that's kind of an issue. Considering that the previous game McMillan made in this style, Meat Boy, was not just average, but really, really good from what people have told me. I've not ever actually played it myself, as I think I've stated before. Not beyond, like, a few minutes of just playing around in it for a little bit. But yeah, that game was very well received, and it's definitely one of the better splatformer / masocore games that have come out in recent years, again, according to the general consensus. Can't judge it myself until I've played it, and I'm not sure I will. I guess that is one downside to having played this. I wanted to play it because it was new and it would give me an experience similar to Meat Boy, but I think I may have made a mistake doing that. I think just going back and playing Meat Boy might have been the better option, especially since I already owned it. I just assumed that he would have grown as a designer and that this would be superior, and that seems to have been a mistake. It is what it is, though. And, you know, before I praised the game saying that it didn't have a lot of that masocore issue, where it's obvious what you need to do, you just need to perfect yourself. I mean, that is part of the genre. Oh, stage 3. But it's definitely one of the worst hallmarks of that genre, is that of just forcing you to go through the same thing until you just get it. Previously, the game did a pretty good job of giving you alternate options, but more and more it seems like there's just one way to do a challenge, and you just have to figure out what that is. I don't know if what I'm saying exactly makes sense. Basically, it's difficult to articulate these concepts while playing this game. It's a rather hectic one if you haven't noticed. But I guess my overall opinion is just that the general gameplay design of this game is, at the end of the day, as I've said before, just average. And again, that could change. It might end up opening up and having all sorts of cool new mechanics, but from what I've seen so far, and from what new mechanics have been introduced to me, I doubt that's going to be the case. It's kind of funny, when I started this I was like, ooh, Golgotha, this area looks interesting, and visually it certainly does. Gameplay-wise, it's probably the worst of the worlds I've seen. And still that issue of grabbing ledges that have spikes on them. I think it might be better if I just speed up after grabbing the tumor. Yeah. I need a little bit more precision, but then I'll have it. See? No, let's see. Are there going to be any secrets here? Possibly, but... Let me try heading back to the left side and see if anything happens. There might actually be a secret passageway down there, given how that's designed. I'm going to assume no secrets for now. Ooh, now this is actually something I like. It's, so it introduced the spike mechanic, Jesus Christ. In a rather easy to understand way with just having them be on horizontal platforms. Now they're having it with the walls, which interplays with the whole hook thing. And again, the general design of this area forcing you to go faster than the previous ones did. Like in the previous ones, you could take your time and you'd be mostly fine, but here you have to go quickly or you're going to die. That is another nice thing I can say about this area, is the focus on speed that it has. That distinguishes it from previous ones. And what am I going to do about this boy? I guess that's what I'm going to do. Alright, actually managed to time it well this time. I should be able to make it from here as long as I really don't screw things up. However... Yep, it's a secret. Or maybe not? Okay, I needed to trigger that upper secret, right, okay. And of course I screw it up, god damn it. Okay, I actually made it up here this time, and hello, is that a person? Is that a new collectible? I'm talking about the thing in roughly the middle of the screen, but then I noticed that definitely new collectible over to the right. Fascinating. Maybe this game will grow and have more interesting things. This is a pretty simple challenge, though. How am I gonna make it my way up there? I guess I need to speed back really quickly, because I'm gonna need to jump on that block when it collapses. I guess maybe just wait here. Yeah, that's exactly what I need to do. Not so bad. The end is nigh, my friend. I can feel it in my plums. The mother is calling out to us. Her voice, the sound of 5 billion flies. Her children, her legacy, her future. They will cleanse the world of all that remains. They are the night. The end is coming. Open your mouth and let them inside you. Well, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna kill them and the night. Fuck. Okay, well, hopefully talking to that NPC doesn't actually do anything regarding game completion. I'm going to assume that it doesn't and just pick up the collectible. Oh, that was actually just a mega tumor. It just looked odd. I thought it might be something new. That's actually kind of disappointing. Alright, I picked up 3 mega tumors. I'm missing 1. I still have a fair amount of Golgotha left to go, though. Well, this is a considerably more peaceful... Never mind. It's not peaceful at all. We've got thwomps to deal with. I think I see what I need to do here. I'm gonna need to jump on it like this. Because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna need to ledge hop off of it to grab that tumor. The issue is timing it. This is gonna be really tricky. Because I gotta trigger it, then grab onto the ledge, and then rock it off, all in like one smooth set of movements. Oh, I can actually probably just do a neutral jump. I was complicating things by thinking that I had to grab onto the ledge, but no. That was actually pretty simple. Of course, what's going to be less simple, come on, is breaking this shit. And then making it without dying. But I did it, and don't think I don't see that keyhole there. I'll keep that in mind. I guess I'm gonna need to lead this guy around if I want to pick up that tumor. I'm not sure what else I could be doing. Ah, I see, I missed that. It has a ledge. And then I just gotta lead it down here, and will it crash into the lava and stay there, or am I gonna have to time this really tightly? Oh, I'm actually gonna need to make it come down in my initial descent, I think. I'm not gonna be able to do it from jumping over here. I'll end up crashing into the lava if I go far enough. But it does seem to stay as a platform, so that makes things a bit easier. Yeah, I screwed up again. Oh no, I did it. Oh, but actually grabbing that tumor, that's gonna be the tricky part, especially if it immediately ascends like that. Okay, I see what I need to do. Yep, I needed to quickly grab the tumor before it re-triggered its movements, and now I'm gonna save that. I really don't want to have to repeat that. Getting up here is easy enough. I missed that other thwomp, but it shouldn't be too difficult to deal with him. Just gonna jump a little bit more quickly. I'm not missing something, am I? Maybe if I... Yeah, that looks better. Oh! Right, they can move in any direction if they have the room. I had temporarily forgotten about that. Okay, that screen was actually pretty easy aside from collecting the tumor, which I guess is the point. Ooh, I'm gonna need to use this boy's momentum to break through. That actually was pretty easy, all things considered. Now, getting him to move out of the way, that's gonna be the tough part. I can't reset the screen because I need to trigger him to break this, so... I'm not sure what the best way to do this is. And, now that I think about it, there might actually be a secret here as well, potentially. Should I try and get up to it? Because, that vertical column that the Crusher starts in is awfully suspicious to me. I'm not just gonna suicide there. I think that'll be easy if I do that. I don't want to lose my progress on this screen. So let's see. Okay, no, that's just death. It was worth a check. Ooh, but it looks like I... Okay, so there's definitely a secret there. Okay, so that was how I needed to do it. And that's actually a good thing to note, the fact that by jumping at the right point, the momentum from the block was actually added to my character. I'm sure I'll need to make use of that at some point, if not for progression, then probably for a secret. And there's this world's game cartridge. Good, I won't be missing that. And don't think I don't see you there. Hello there, fat boy. Please, help me. That compound eye is keeping me from ascending. Every time I try to escape, he removes a piece of me. If I could only get out of this room, I could finally leave this plane. I could rise above all this petty bullshit and become someone. It's all his fault. It's always someone's fault. Who do you blame for what happened to you? Okay. Yeah. Less and less I'm getting interested in the NPCs in this game. Like, they started out saying interesting stuff, but now... Alright, clearly I'm gonna need to make use of him. I gotta lead him over this way, which is gonna be easier said than done. Okay, I made it this time. Ugh, that was a lot of busy work. At least I got the cartridge. Alright, so what have I collected in this world? I still need 3 more tumors, 4 mega tumors, and there is that other humanoid silhouette that I've yet to find, that I'm sure must be something. I'm assuming I didn't want to stay in that path when those blocks were still there. I'm assuming that would have resulted in me getting crushed. I'm gonna need to have this guy to make it through here. Oh, that's interesting. Doesn't actually see me when I'm standing like this. And the worst thing is I can't clear... Oh, wait, I could have cleared the screen. That actually would have made collecting the tumor very easy indeed. I thought I needed to keep my current progress. I thought the breakable blocks were a bit above where they actually were. My bad. This screen is actually pretty tepid in difficulty. Just leave, come back, and there's your tumor. I'll take an easy screen now and again, especially after that pain in the ass secret. Okay, this is a speed challenge. Now I'm assuming that's gonna go back down. Not quick enough though to help me. Okay, picking up this tumor, especially with that sinking platform, is going to be tricky. In fact, I might just need to come from the right side of the screen, honestly. I think that'll be easier. Oh, damn it. Those chain chomps are just a little bit too fast. You'd think for giant lumps on chains they would actually be slower, but nope. They're as speedy as Gonzalez himself. Alright, and the boiling blood does in fact not go down. Good to know. This may have been a mistake. I'm not sure if I can actually make it past this one. Okay, finally made it. It was just a matter of doing it over and over again until I just got it right. That was the thing I was saying this game was lacking in the earlier stages. To its benefit, that's not a especially good game design. To use too much at least. But it seems to be something that's coming out in full force in Golgotha. I hope that's only going to be true here and that the later stages, whatever they may be, are going to be more interesting. Suppose I'll see soon enough. After all, I am nearly done with Golgotha. Okay, I'm gonna see where the boiling blood stops. I want to see if I can hang off that hook and be fine. It might end up hitting me, so I think I'm just gonna have to do this in one shot. Okay, that actually was pretty easy. And So many unnecessary spikes in this game. They're literally just there just to kill you if you're not paying attention. But I guess this answers what that humanoid thing was. It's a torso. Little Gish protagonist here seems like he's going to be making a friend sooner than we thought. Really? No secret? Oh, I see. This is for getting up to the second entrance to the future. It's been a while since I've done one of these. Let's see if this one is any significantly different from the first one I did. The mother is pleased with your offering. You may enter her kingdom. Alright, let's go. I wonder if I should have activated that warp point first. Hopefully that wasn't necessary. So, I'm back in the future. And immediately I am more intrigued by this stage's design gameplay-wise than the previous one. We've got water, fish attacking you, sinking stage elements that then rise back up. Already this is more intriguing than Golgotha. Yep, it continues to sink if you keep staying down on it, and I need to pick up that cube. Am I going to become a cubomancer? It's the coolest type of magic, so I would hope yes. Okay, I think I'm gonna need to jump off this at the lowest point possible, then quickly rise up, and I might be able to make it. No, that's clearly not going to work. Huh. It continues to sink when I'm in the water, okay. I'm gonna wait for that piranha to circle back to the left side, given what happened previously. Yeah, seriously, I must have been 1 pixel off from that. I was just, not good at all. Alright, well that's 1 barrier removed. Now can I get to the second one without dying? It's actually a pretty good question. Okay, I made it, thank God. Now let's just get the hell out of here before I die. Although I do have to check over here to see if there's anything hidden. Nope, okay, it seems fine. I just check here as well, you never know. As long as there aren't obvious spikes, it should be safe to check it out. Okay, good, it spits me out right back here so I can open this up. So yeah, looking at the collection of the secret area, there were those 3 wiggly, probably meant to be sperm-like things, knowing Edmund. I'm not sure if those are collectibles or what. Or if I can even pick them up from the, these apostles, I guess I'll call them. Well, as far as collecting stuff has gone, I've done pretty well. I guess now it's just time to return to the split and ascend the Wall of Sorrow. But, that'll be next time. I'm kind of, Nigh'd out, you could say. I'm a horseman. Back in the 90s, I was on a very special TV show. BoJack Horseman is good, you should watch it.